Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's great to have you here with me to color in Magical Earth by Joseph Cadambane, and we're continuing the polar bear and lantern page. So I'm really excited to get working more on this picture, and we're going to focus more on the polar bear, the girl, and some of the stuff going on down here. Alright, so I'm probably going to use the same colors for the lanterns in the sky and do them down here. So that should work out quite well. Again, I'm using Prismacolor pencils. We will see. I might pull in polys for the fur, but let's see how it goes. And then I'm thinking the rock. Technically, if it's northern light, it's going to be more icy, so we'll probably do like purples and blues, maybe more violet and Indian throne blue kind of colors, maybe some cool grays. So I'm thinking something along that line. So bear with me as I just get everything kind of organized. So what we're thinking of doing is using like a violet blue. I've got a violet, and then probably an indigo blue, and maybe a cool gray, like one of these gray pencils to blend it out. So I'm thinking a 10% cool grey, and we'll use it as a blending pencil. Often your very light shades of colors, so things like cream, white, 10% grey, or very light greys, your very light colors, they work really well as blending pencils. So that way you can kind of preserve your white pencil just a wee bit more. Okay, so let's do this. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting in my shadows first. But I have to be careful actually, because I do have some gentle glows of light kind of going in here. So let's use like a cream. And up along here, you're going to have some light. So I'm going to zoom you into the rock. There we go. So I'm just putting in my highlights. There's a lot of lighting going on. Even though it's sort of gentle, I do want to make sure it's there. I think her toes might get some light. Alright, so probably something along those lines. Okay, I'm going to go in with my indigo blue. Hi Noelle, how are you? Yeah, doing all right, thank you. Just a bit tired today. I had a very late night on Friday coloring in, and I ended up kind of getting into one of those zones, and I colored until 3 a.m. Saturday morning, and I didn't feel tired until I think it was last night. So I am really tired today, but you know, it's self-inflicted pain. So I've got no one to blame really except myself. On the plus side, I was able to film one color along, but 2 parts. It took me two videos to complete it, and I worked on an old whip. So, you know, got to keep moving forward. Right, so I think it's worth remembering they're sitting more on like an iceberg, I think, than actual rock. I don't know how she's not ice cold. I mean, like, her bum must be wet from all the moisture of sitting on ice. I went sledding with my youngest son and some friends on the weekend, and we had so much fun. He particularly had a lot of fun, and I went down once on the sled, and when we got back home, I mean, I sat down in the snow on like my handbag to just give myself a break from standing up, and eventually I was like, no, I need to stand up because I'm getting wet. It's not working out very well. And his socks and his trousers were all soaked through. And he said to me, Mommy, the heating in the car, it didn't help. It just made things worse because the snow melted. So yeah, I'm just thinking about that. And I'm thinking, well, if she's sitting on an iceberg, I don't know how she is not like ice cold, because she's got no coat on. She's up against a polar bear. And I am basically putting her on ice. I don't think this was a well thought out plan. Hi Kenny, how are you? Yes, productive is the word. I'm glad you are well. I haven't worked out if the lines the illustrators put in are helpful or not helpful. I think her skin will take a lot, it will be quick to color. I don't think it's going to be long to color her skin. then I think what we could do is use a white Posca pen, or any gel pen really, just a white one, and outline it all, and that will help kind of create that iceberg feel. Right, so I really like having super sharp tips. So now I'm going to use like a violet blue, and I'm hoping it will kind of help reflect some of the sky. I mean, you can see it's kind of melty over here. It's got that melty look to it. Yeah, I'm standing by it. It's an iceberg, and she's got wet clothes. So this should be quite quick to color because, you know, it's ice. I suppose you could color it kind of similar to a crystal. So good news, I found my Neocolor 2s. Yay! I had used them at a friend's house and forgot to take them home with me. So that was a win. I saw her last week and I said to her, oh my gosh, do you by chance have my crayons? And she said to me, oh yes, I've been keeping them and been meaning to give them back to you. So I was very short of doing a complete happy dance, which means that I can start doing and planning Kirby pages, because I love using Neocolor 2s in my Kirby pages, and especially the backgrounds. I like using them for backgrounds. So I'm very excited about this. Yes, it was a big relief. I was very much telling myself, well, sorry girl, you lost them, so you're gonna have to figure this out. And if it means waiting a while before you restock, then so be it, you know. It was basically coaching myself through choices and consequences. But yes, they are safe and sound back in my drawer. Oh no, you lost your Holbeins for 2 months. Oh my goodness, those are expensive. I'm so glad your hubby found them. I suppose you could reflect some of the water in here and bring in the greens. might bring in some spring green just on the edge here. I think could work. Oh, yay, I'm glad you swatched them. So what do you think about it? About them? How do they work? Do you think they're worth buying? Worth the money? You have a lot of pencils. I saw on Instagram a little reel where it was kind of like your partner's low maintenance but has very expensive hobbies. It's such a giggle. You explained how you needed different pencils for certain papers. A truer word was not spoken. Okay, let me try this 10% cool gray. I find with paper and pencils, you actually have to work with it to fully appreciate how true it is to match your pencils and your paper. Well, we're glad you don't lie. It'd probably make things worse. I've actually found as I've colored, the more I've colored and the longer I've colored, I'm finding that when you know how to approach each book, to some extent the coloring process does speed up. Either that or you get more confident in how to approach the coloring book and so you have a more positive experience, generally speaking, and yeah, it just has a positive outcome. Or I have a very big influx of coloring mojo at the moment, and it is just all going well. Oh, I hear you, Kenny. Not telling the truth does make things worse. Hi, Carly. How are you? We're talking about pencils and paper. Oh, yum. Toast and bananas. That's good. Okay, I'm going to come in with a wee bit black because I really do want this slightly darker. You could probably use a 90% cool grey and it will accomplish a similar thing. I wanted bluey to show that it's eyes, but I also wanted slightly black to just contrast the shadows. I am well, thank you. Yes, figuring out order of operation seems to be making it easier. It's quite faceted, this rock. Oh, Neos aren't too bad. You can be a lot more generous with them than you realize. They spread very far. I just really don't like using them as a base. I don't like the way my pencils react. But for backgrounds or just painting straight, especially backgrounds, they're really loads of fun. Yay, you're using your ink tints. Well done. I'm sure it's looking out really pretty. Are you using it to color the whole page or just as a base? Ooh, nice. The whole page. Wow, well done. How's it going? How are you finding it? Oh, that's cool. I'm glad it's going well. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Hope you had a good weekend. Oh, cool. Magical World by Johanna Basford. I've heard her books are really good. I think I tested Inktense in The Secret Garden, but like the one that came out in 2013. And I was impressed with the way Inktense behaved then. And I started that page, oh, probably 2020 or 2021. So with a very an even more limited understanding. And I noticed that the Inktense worked well on the Johanna Basford paper. Okay, so I want a bit more yellow around here because I've got this flame. And just make the yellow reflections along here a little bit stronger. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Oh, that's a cool mix. Oh, Hoo water markers, Neo2s, and acrylic paint. Right, so shall we do the polar bear? Now, I'm thinking a mixture of grays, maybe the French grays and the warm grays, and a little bit of maybe Sandbar brown, because polar bears are never pure white. They sometimes have cream in them or a bit of brown. So let's put some Sandbar brown, and we'll put it in all the shadowy areas, and then we can go from there. Just make sure he's in the full screen for you. Okay, so we've got to remember there's yellow on him, so we'll just make it a bit more obvious. And then we do have that aurora light reflecting off him, so we do need to kind of include that a little bit. Oh dear, you had a wax bloom fiasco. Oh no. Okay, so here I'm not going to worry too much about texture. I'm going to lay my shadows first and sort of the idea of the fur. I did toy with the idea of using markers, but I chickened out. So you could always just get like a very light gray marker and use that as a base. I'm sorry to hear that the weather's been quite horrendous for some of you in the States. So is it a hurricane that's hitting? From what I understand, it's quite a bad storm with severe winds, but I haven't really looked into the weather reports too much. So yeah, I'm a little behind on the global news. Oh, wildfires. Oh, okay. That's quite rough. Oh, wow. The worst national disaster. That's terrible. Okay, so now I'm going to use a 90% French grey. Do I want to use a grey? Probably not a French grey. I'm probably going to use a 50% warm grey, because I want more grey than brown. I'm glad you've seen some dirty polar bears. Well, I do want to make him look like he's a bit, you know, natural, but he's not too dirty, so he at least tidied up. I mean, it's a romantic setting. Or he's with his pal, special friend, and she apparently dearly loves him. I'm not sure about the friendship going on here, like what it is. But, you know, I'm sure we can come up with a story. Long lost friend, or she's maybe a polar bear whisperer. So we want to show him a little bit tidied up. Oh, Carly, I've seen your pages. They're beautiful. I do think you colour very well. Sometimes we are our worst critic. It's the truth. The main thing with fur is remembering to go in this right direction and then varying the hair so they don't all look like they're the same. Crisscross them a little. Is it the oldest book you own or the oldest book you like colouring in? Gosh, it's so amazing how many people have The Secret Garden as their first coloring book or their oldest. Hi Shani, how are you? Hi Yana. Right, so I need something in here. All right, let's try some more gray and then I will try and lighten it, and if we need to I'll use a white gel pen and work on it there. All right, so we need to go deeper around this piece of his neck. Oh wow, Yana, that sounds so hectic. Scooping snow into a bucket, to get the water level in your pond to cover the heater and keep the water from freezing the pump. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, insomnia sucks. Wow, staying up till 2 a.m. Do you function well on a little sleep? Or are you somebody who needs a lot of sleep to feel like all is right with the world? Oh, fair enough. I'll ask you again at 6 p.m. Right, so I need more grey. I need more grey. Right, I'm going to go with a 90% warm grey. Make your lights light and your darks dark. So the trick with fur is if you make too long a stroke, you end up with a long-haired creature. So I don't think he's got overly long hair, but he has got longer than short hair. So you're yelling at the deaf dog to come inside. Oh dear. Well, hopefully body language will work for you, if tone of voice doesn't. No, I don't think doing a loud whistle at 3 a.m. is going to work. Would a dog whistle work? Or is that very specific? Well, fair enough. You all are very patient. I would probably give up and wait for the dog, close the door, go back inside and wait for the dog to come whining at the door and then open it and go, okay, fine, come in. You all are very patient. I promise I'm not as hard as I sound. Oh, how lovely, Dawn. It's going to snow. I love it when it snows. We had snow last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. It snowed. And it was so much fun just watching the weather go from like freezing rain to sleet and then eventually decide, no, it was going to snow. So we were very chuffed with that. Alright, so there we got a bit of fur texture going on. I'm just trying to work out where else I need to deepen stuff and then lighten it. Okay, I think I'm going to sharpen up a white pencil. Gosh, that is cold. Okay, let's see, what does the white pencil do? I don't want to go all the way into my dark shadows with my white pencil because I really don't want to lose my shadows. I'd have to go in and do it all over again, and that's not nice. No. I remember doing skin with Prismas my first time, and it was on really yuck Amazon paper, and I went and I tried to blend all of the skin, and in the process I learned to be careful with blending out my shadows because they can blend very easily into my highlights and I will end up with very little shadows and very little highlights. So I do try since then to kind of just be a bit more careful where I place my white pencil. Hi Dawn, hope you have a good week. Thanks for joining. Oh, that's clever, Noelle, to use different colored lights on your collars, your dog collars. Alright, so here on this side it's going too straight. I don't like it, so I need to work a bit more over here and kind of bring it in a bit more, not so straight. Hopefully I can get it right. If not, never mind. But, you know, we don't want to have it too straight. I don't think I can help myself. I end up doing fur texture, even when I don't necessarily want to. And then once I start, I can't stop. It's like, it has to carry on. It's okay, he's at night. He's allowed to be darker than white at night because he, you know, polar bears don't necessarily look white at night. I was looking at the lion page in Magical Earth, and I was thinking that page with almost like pastel-y colors could look really, really pretty. Soft background, like soft purple, maybe a lilac or lavender, or lilac into a lavender, and then some white. Could look really pretty. Maybe do some dark colors here. Oh, that sounds delicious. Egg and spinach and veggie frittata. Okay, so then maybe some darker bits here. And then I'm going to blend it out again and probably walk away. Thing with the hair is the more you work at it, the more texture you build. So I followed a Chris Cheng tutorial on, I think it was coloring a cat's fur, and that was really insightful, coloring along with her and seeing the different colors that she used, how she did it, how she used a white ball Signo pen to help her create highlights. This page reminds me of a fairy tale, like some princess, and then you've got the prince, her true love, and he's trapped in some sort of enchantment or spell, and he's a bear. Yay, your Amazon delivery is 8 stops away. There is hope yet. Okay, I'm going to use an Artex white marker pen because that's what I've got out here. And let's see, if it's worst case scenario, I will just go over it with a pencil and scratch it all off. I mean, really, that's the worst case. But I would use a white pencil. So this one's actually, the paint pen is far too thick for my liking. I would probably use a Signo pen, or just any pen where you can put it on and then scratch it smaller. So it creates a highlight, but it also blends. Alright, let's try a jelly roll. If my jelly roll actually works. Oh my goodness. I've even watched videos on white gel pens, and it's like, you know, don't press hard, press lightly, and then I press lightly and I'm not sure it's actually coming out. Yeah, I don't think that's working. Okay, never mind. Let's try again with this. We will figure it out. It's like put on with paint, put paint on, paint with pencil. Maybe I should put a disclaimer, what not to do. This is what happens when you're not an artist. You just teach yourself how to do things. You just make a mess. And then pray it looks good at the end of the day. He does have a really big paw. I'm trying to fix it. Oh dear. No, don't throw your book away. Bet you your book is much better than mine. It's okay. We'll use a dark grey just to kind of add texture back. Oh, he's not gonna have lush fur. Oh well, he wasn't supposed to really have fur. I can't help myself. I get carried away. Like, okay, yeah, no, doing fur is gonna be complicated. Nope, add fur texture. You need to learn how to go darker. It's a hard one going darker. I mean, to know when it's too dark can be tricky. And also at night, if you're doing like a night scene, you've got even more scope to go really dark because, well, it depends if you're going realistic. Because apparently when you coloring like a night scene, you don't have a lot of definite lines. It's more like the lines kind of blend into each other. So you have a lot of shadow. It's not working. I am ready to give up. Oh dear. Fixie fix. Just pretend that I know what I'm doing. That's 90% of what I do. So I just pretend I know what I'm doing. Because I really don't actually know what I'm doing. See, I'm just too determined. Yeah. It's not working. It's a pool of white paint. I think I need to stop doing this. I'm like, stop it. But I'm like, now it looks unbalanced. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. I can always make a mess off camera. Like, stop, put it down. Okay, so we've got blues, we've got purples, greens and reds. So maybe she should just do her skin. Yeah, we'll do her skin. We need light umber. Oh, thank you, Kenny. I'm running away from my polar bear now. Was it maybe like a chalk? I've seen some people use like white charcoal. So I'm very lightly using a 90% warm grey just to really go into shadowy, deep shadows. Okay, light umber. So here, this side of her face is actually more in shadow. If you think about it, his arm is blocking that portion of her face, so it's going to actually be almost black, but not quite black. So you really do want that side quite heavy in the shadow. And then here it will be lighter because it's got more of this ambient light hitting it. I've lost my white pencil. Oh, I found my white pencil. And then I do like to take a black fine liner and just put back in very gently some of her details. I suppose we could give her brown hair. She could look nice with brown hair. That is one of the benefits of the newer mythographic books, is you don't have to worry about all those hidden objects. Hi Ronnie, how are you? Oh, I'm glad your hubby's out of surgery. How did it go? I hope he recovers well, and yeah, that everything is as it should be. Oh, I'm so glad he's doing well and that the surgery was quicker and not as bad as the doctor thought. That's really great news. Right, I'm stuck on what clothes to give her. I don't know. But what we can do is give some very dark brown bases here. So I'm just going to stick to the colors I have out. Maybe bring in some like pumpkin orange, no, mineral orange. Bye, Carly. Thanks for joining. Have a good week. Okay, I need to move down because I realized I am coloring off camera and that won't work. Wow, that would have been very, very anxious. I'm so glad that it worked out for you, Ronnie. And that the cheeriness in the doctor's voice was reassuring. Right, I'm just thinking, I think I was going to do the lanterns at the bottom the same, but then all this like intricate workings I was going to use, I think, a gold pen. So be dark up. Oh my goodness, I find light source really just baffles my brain. Okay, let's do this. So gold light trimming at the bottom. I'm using just a Sakura metallic gold pen, and I think doing that on the bottom would work quite well. I just want to do like, I feel like if I do one, I know how to do the rest, but I'll use the same colors because I think that works quite well. Light coming off there, so darkest would be down here. I don't mind coloring over this. I can use a gel pen and go over it. Right, so and then in here, so I'm using, I think this is cream, canary yellow, deco yellow, right, so I think you would do something along these lines. All right, now a white pencil. And I do have my Prismacolor blender, which I really do like. It does save the Prismas quite a bit. must say coloring lanterns like this is actually quite fun. And it's not too tedious. Something like that, and then if I use a gel pen, I can make it all pretty and shiny. And then I don't have to color the whole thing. Something like this. And then if I do this, it's like a weird lily. So the problem with my light is you get the direct light on the lamp. So yeah, it's like shine glare. You can see all the wax. Right, I'm trying to find a really nice blue. I feel like I've got a lot of yellowy greens, so maybe if I contrast it with like some bluey greens. I'm not sure. Hang on, I think I might have found it. So 907 is a color. 907 is a color. I need to figure out what color it is. 907 is peacock green. 909 is grass green. Peacock green, grass green. And then I've got like a... Well, I'm throwing pencils on the floor. Yay! I'll just throw my pencils on the floor. Okay, so I'm supposed to have a spring green, which is now on the floor, and a aqua green, which is not here. Nope. It might be in my coffee mug, because I painted a coffee mug and I used that. Nope. Oh my goodness. All the pencils in the world and you lose them. A 921. Now I know that's an orange of sorts, so I've got a 122. Okay, I got a 921 and yeah, more colors. I don't think I am very acquainted with my Prismas enough. See, it's a sign. I have to color more with Prismas. But I have got a Deco yellow. So I have that. And it's definitely not a yellow chartreuse. So I have three pencils that I need to figure out. Seriously, so funny. All right, let me get my other pencils. I've got more somewhere. Alright, so get the spares. Get the spares out. And there's the apple green and the spring green. And then I need a yellowy color. And it's a Spanish orange. There we go. When in doubt, get the spares. Okay. Promise, if I didn't have my head screwed on, yeah, I would lose it too. So just in case. All right, so it's like a tea light thingy. So I see a lot of Instagram reels, and the one reel I was watching, my hubby was with me, and this person was going to have a bubble bath, and they had these sort of like very much this sort of concept, but obviously it was plastic, and it had tea light candles inside, and then it had a slightly bigger one. And you could put your wine glass in it, would hold your wine glass in the bath. So, you know, you can have your glass of wine with you when you were having a bubble bath. Which I thought this was both hilarious and not doable because, yeah, I couldn't see myself actually having the time to sit in the bath for that long undisturbed and drink a bottle of wine or a glass of wine. So I had a good giggle, but because of seeing that, this sort of thing reminds me of it. So there we go. Hi Mona, how are you? Thanks for popping in to say hi. I hope you've had a good weekend and week. Yeah, Kenny, I hear you. Although, so with my eldest being 14, they are getting older. I wouldn't necessarily say they're at the age where they always leave mommy in peace. But it is a lot easier in some respects than when they were younger. But it is a different feeling when your kids are getting older and you can, you know, like I'm starting to see how as they get older, mommy's roll is going to kind of decrease in a way, which is normal. So there's that whole letting go kind of process that will kick in, which is both important and sad all at the same time. So I think I'm going to kind of create it like it's a tea light. So I'll make, hopefully I know what I'll do. I will use the silver metallic pen because that will probably just be easier, and then you'll have the glitter. And why not? No, why not just make our lives easier? Put a bit of sparkle. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we need a bit of here. And in here. Now, I do want the white paint pen. Please. And then the rest of that will have to be a Posca pen, because that big marker pen I can't do fine details with. Maybe I could use a red metallic pen. Kind of go in. Oh gosh, see, it floods. My pens always flood. Okay, hang on. I'm having serious issues with my pens flooding. Look, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I think next time I must use a fine liner. Come on. Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna just give up. It was working. Right, I am not touching the red pen or the white paint pen. I will use a Posca pen because I feel like those pens are just not working. I think I will do the snowflakes probably with a white Posca pen too. I might try add in some gel pen. Okay, so I need to bring in some beautiful light around about here. Right, so I'm just blending my light source into everything and then kind of working my way up and down in roundabouts and all sorts of directions. Alright, so this is looking quite cool. And then, yeah, I think after this little lily pad thingamajiggy, I will say adieu. But I will try and finish the page up and have it ready for my end of the month video. But I am busy thinking maybe I should do that lion page. Okay, so I am going to zoom you out and you can see how it looks. There we go. So yeah, if you can imagine it complete, that's what it will look like. And if you want me to finish it up on camera, please let me know in the comments, and then I will make sure I film it. Otherwise, I might end up just coloring it off camera. And I have recently had a couple of people mention they've been looking for videos, but I haven't done them because I've colored them off camera. So yeah, I'm happy to film it, I'm happy to color it off camera, whichever one. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been great to hang out with you, and I really enjoyed chatting with you and knowing that you're all well, your families are all well. I'll keep you and your husband in my prayers this week, and I look forward to seeing you all next week, same time, same place, but with a different page. Until next time, everyone, take care and have a good week. Bye for now.